this video I'll show you how easy it is to create a grid inside of Adobe InDesign using our software Grid Calculator by Designer's Bookshop. So you can either enter your own document setting using millimeters, inches and points. By the way, this also works for web design. So I'm going to select a predefined size here and enter a desired leading of 12, and then I'm going to press copy settings. So let's go to Adobe InDesign. Create a new document by going to File, New, Document. And since I selected A4 earlier in the Grid Calculator, it has already been selected here as default, so all I have to do is set the margins to 0, press OK. Then with the rulers active, I'm going to right click and set the units to points. And then I'm going to paste the information from Grid Calculator into Adobe InDesign, and I'm going to copy the correct leading value. Then I'm going to press Command K and go to Grids, set the start value to 0, increment every field is to the correct leading, and the same value here. Let's set the subdivisions to 1. And horizontal grid line every is the horizontal offset value that we copied from Grid Calculator, which in this case is 8.504 points, and press OK. Then I'm going to right click, Grids and Guides, Show Document Grid, and also select Snap to Document Grid. So let's rename the layer 1 layer to Image Lines, because now we're going to create the image lines. So let's delete this text and go to the master pages. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to select the font size appropriate to the leading that we're going to work with. So in this case I'm going to select 10 points, and I'm going to select the font that I want to work with. So I'm going to enter the lowercase character of F in 10 points, and then I'm going to go to Type, Create Outlines, and what I need to do is I need to copy the height of that and go back to Grid Calculator and simply paste it in, and it gives us a value for the first F line as 5.018. So let's copy that and draw a guide and hold down the command button if you're on the Mac, and it will be applied on both pages. So with the guide still active, just paste the value from Grid Calculator to put it in place. Then remember the correct leading value here, or just copy it, and also the number of image lines. Because now let's go to Edit, make sure that the guide is selected, and go to Edit, Step and Repeat, and paste that correct leading there in the vertical offset field, and enter 69, press Preview, and hit OK. I'm just gonna change the color of these guides by making sure that all of them is selected. Go to Ruler Guide, and then I'm going to set it to light blue. Let's lock the image lines, and we can actually uncheck that for a while, and let's create some new layers. Text, images, rows, and let's start drawing our columns, and make sure that that it's set to fill and not stroke, and simply start drawing your columns. This takes some time to experiment and find the setting that you like, but I'm just gonna do it quickly here for you. Okay, now we have to set the outer and inner margin, so let's do that. So copy the width and go to Layout, Margins and Columns, outside, press OK. And let's also do it for the inside margin. Copy the width. So let's set the columns value. First we need to get the gutter value there, and that is copying the width. Go to Layout, Margins and Columns. We have 3 columns and paste that value there. So now we can delete these black boxes. What we're going to do now is we're going to create the rows. So we need to turn on the image lines layer and simply use the same technique we did previously. But when you create the rows, it is important that the rows start on the image lines and end on the document grid. So let me show you what I mean. Let me zoom in here. As you can see, it starts here on the image lines layer and ends on the document grid. So let's just copy that. So we have 4 rows, and we need to get the gutter value for that as well. So let's keep that square there, and we need to first just set the top and bottom margin. So let's do that quickly. Copy the height and paste that into the top margin, and let's do the same for the bottom margin. And paste that in the bottom margin. So once we've done that, let's go ahead and create the rows. We need to copy the height there, and it was 4 rows. So let's go to Create Guides and make sure that you're on the rows layer. So in the options here, fit guides to margins and set the rows to 4, and copy and paste the value into the gutter field there. So let's uncheck the image lines, and we can see that we created the rows here. So we can actually delete these black boxes, and I'm just going to change the color of these guides, and I'm going to set them to black. So we've set the main grid, so let us enter some content. Hold down the Alt button to get this new paragraph style window, and enter the style name. And Adobe remembers my previous settings, so all I have to do is enter the leading here, which is 12.027 points, and for the indents and spacing I'm going to select all lines and make sure that that is active. And let's go to the first page here and create a text box and enter some text, placeholder text. Now you might need to expand the text box a bit to make it snap into place. So let me just turn on the image lines layer real quick here and show you the alignment. So start by drawing a black box where the F lines begin and end on the document. Let me just show you here that you get a pretty nice alignment here using this F-line layer technique. So I hope that you enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching.